Naresh.
Thanks, Doc. There are two things. First is more of a compliment. You did mention just a few days ago about vitamins, especially vitamin C and things, being only available in the pharmacies rather than, in the supermarkets. And I very strongly, sort of recommend that, that be pursued and taken forward. Because actually last year I returned from New Zealand after spending 15 years out there, teaching business, etc. So you got to count down there, you can buy medication for such a low price compared to what it is in pharmacies around here. For instance, Baroka, what used to cost me $23 in Countdown in New Zealand, it's something like about $68 out here. And it will be really good, if that could go to supermarkets and if that could be pursued.
Sure.
Other thing is, this has been suggested by some other people, or they've asked me if I could raise this as well. I do teach business, 1-2 day, provide this training through USP. And they've said that if FNPF could, sort of allow for the payment of the fees, etc. Normally, like a 1 day training in leadership or supply chain management, etc., that we've been running would cost about $200, $190, $200 is a 1 day course, and roughly $300 for 2 day trainings. So I wonder if provision could be made, or people could, draw money from FNPF. I've been asked if I could sort of raise this with you, and if that could be provided for.
Sure. FNPF is an independent board, but FNPF has been allowing people to withdraw funds for educational purposes for institutions that are certified by the Fiji Higher Education Commission. I don't know whether it's USP, but if it's that's something you have to talk to FNPF about. We don't tell FNPF who to give money to, but that's the policy that they have. Regarding the pharmaceutical issue, most definitely, we made that announcement. So as I said, this to unlock many of the sort of shackles in terms of liberalizing the economy. That's one of the key issues. So there's a lot of sort of archaic bureaucracy, archaic legislation. So the pharmaceutical board, the pharmacy council, sometimes people run a closed shop. So the whole idea is to try and unlock that. And that's what we are doing. In the same way, I had a meeting 2 days ago with a number of the agencies, and we were talking about, a lot of the regulatory changes, as I mentioned about engineering standards, etc., but also the time it takes. So in some of the regulations or the actual substantive law, it says only after 21 days, or only after 3 months can you do X, Y, Z. So nobody's really questioned that. And sometimes those things, if you add it all up, it takes a very long time. So we are looking at the changes also, legislative changes or regulatory changes, to shorten the time to be able to get some efficiencies built around that. But certainly that's, some of those products need to be, looked at, how we can liberalize the sale of those products. They are, for example, in Australia now, you can't simply go off and buy a Panadol, because it's used for making other drugs. There are certain drugs that were treated as off-the-counter drugs without a prescription, but there are there's restrictions placed on that, pseudoephedrine and all of that that's involved in the chemical composition of it. But yeah, definitely things like vitamins and all of that, we believe it should be done, and hopefully we should be able to get around there in the next few months.
Thank you.